Today, we're going deep on something a listener asked about, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's about whether like physical things, like pimples or even like muscle spasms could be connected to like energetic or psychic stuff.
Yeah.
And specifically, we're looking at it through the lens of Robert Bruce,
Right.
who, writes a lot about out-of-body experiences and energy work and all that.
Yeah, he's delved really deep into those areas for sure.
So we dug into a bunch of his books,
That's cool.
like Practical Psychic Self-Defense, Energy Work, Astral Dynamics, plus his online stuff like New Energy Ways.
Nice. So a good spread of his work then.
Yeah, to see like if and how he connects those dots, pimples and muscle spasms to this energetic psychic realm.
It's a really different way of looking at things for sure.
Right, like
Yeah.
it's not your typical doctor's visit
And
explanation.
exactly. And I think that's what makes it so intriguing for a lot of people.
Absolutely. So let's start with the pimples thing.
Okay.
We actually found this hilarious article on cracked.com. Uh,
Crack.com.
Yeah, I know, right? It's not exactly the first place you think of for this kind of topic,
Yes.
but it basically suggests that Bruce, in his book Practical Psychic Self-Defense, kind of links like fighting astral enemies to getting skin blemishes.
Oh, wow.
And they even joke about like using a ballpoint pen as some kind of treatment.
Okay, now that's funny.
It is, but even though it's satire, it does point to something Bruce talks about, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It highlights this concept in his self-defense work that these negative psychic influences, it calls them negs,
Right, next.
can actually mess with you physically, and skin problems seem to be one way they could manifest.
Like an outward sign of some inner battle.
Yeah, kind of. And it fits into his whole idea that these energies can impact our health in a really big way.
It's a very different way of thinking about it than, say, the whole scientific gut-brain-skin connection.
Oh, absolutely. It's a totally different paradigm.
Like with the gut-brain-skin thing, it's all about your emotional state impacting your gut health and leading to inflammation, which then shows up on your skin.
Right. It's all very much internal.
Yeah, but with Bruce's framework, it's like these external negative forces are directly affecting your physical body.
Exactly. And that's a core idea in all his writings on psychic self-defense.
Okay, so what about the muscle spasms then? Did we find any, like, direct links to psychic attacks in his work?
Well, not directly in terms of muscle spasms being caused by psychic attacks, but in his New Energy Ways, there's a whole chapter called Energy Movement Sensations,
Okay.
which seems to suggest that he does talk about physical feelings that can come up from doing energy work.
Oh, I see.
And, it's not too far-fetched to think that involuntary movements like muscle spasms could fall under that umbrella.
Right. It makes sense.
Yeah, because he also mentions side effects as a topic.
Interesting. And it kind of reminds me of the whole Kundalini awakening thing,
Oh, yeah, sure.
which is obviously not directly from Bruce, but it's a related idea in the metaphysical world.
Definitely.
And sometimes people experience involuntary movements during those intense energetic shifts.
It's like the energy is so powerful, it spills over into the physical body.
Yeah, and we know Bruce has been developing these ideas around the Uraeus effect, which is connected to Kundalini, right?
Absolutely.
So it make you wonder about how all these different energetic systems in the body can manifest physically when they get activated or disrupted.
Right. Like, what are the connections and how does it all work?
And in Bruce's energy work and New Energy Ways, he talks about these energy blockages within what he calls the energy body, which includes things like chakras and energy circuits.
Okay.
And he says these blockages can potentially lead to physical problems.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe muscle spasms could be seen as a physical symptom of some energetic disruption in the muscular system.
Yeah, like a kink in the hose.
Exactly.
It's all about flow and balance in these systems.
Right. And this idea of a healthy energy body being crucial for physical well-being seems like a core part of Bruce's teachings.
It's fundamental to his whole perspective.
Like we saw terms in his self-defense handbook, like energy body attachments and anti-neg countermeasures.
Right. It's like this whole other level of defense against unseen forces.
And the blockage idea seems key, too.
Absolutely.
Like in energy work, he connects a sore throat to potentially having a blockage in the throat chakra. So he's making these connections between specific points in the energy body and physical manifestations.
What's really fascinating is how he emphasizes this idea that disruptions in your energy body, whether it's from outside psychic attacks or internal blockages, can create tangible effects on your physical body.
Right? It's not just some airy-fairy concept. It's like this blueprint that impacts your physical reality.
Exactly. Think of it like plumbing. If there's a clog, you'll see the effects somewhere else as a leak or pressure building up.
Hmm.
So for Bruce, the energy body is this non-physical counterpart to our physical form, a sort of energetic matrix that's susceptible to all kinds of influences.
Well, that's a good analogy.
And he lays out these 5 main energy circuits pathways for energy flow, and any disruptions in them can cause issues.
Like energetic traffic jam.
Uh-huh. Yeah, kind of. And he even talks about tactile imaging as a technique to actually move this energy, the idea of energy entering through the crown and root chakras, and even burning away blockages using color and elements.
Wow. It's a really intricate system he's put together.
It is, and it requires a real shift in thinking to wrap your head around.
It's definitely not your everyday perspective on health and well-being.
No, it's not.
But it's interesting that even online you see people trying to make sense of these ideas, like in that cracked.com piece or even in some Amazon reviews we found.
People are drawing these connections between Bruce's writings and their own experiences with health issues.
Right? It's like his work gives them a new framework to understand what might be going on.
Exactly.
So if we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, it seems like Bruce's perspective offers a really unique way to think about the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
Suggesting that these non-physical influences can have very real physical consequences.
And particularly when it comes to skin conditions, according to at least one interpretation of his self-defense work.
Right. So it seems like Robert Bruce does provide a framework for potentially linking subtle energies to physical symptoms like pimples, with some support in certain interpretations of his writings, at least when it comes to self-defense against these negative forces.
Yeah, and while the muscle spasm connection is less clear-cut, it could fit within his larger model of how these energetic disruptions manifest in the physical body.
It definitely gives you a different lens to look through when considering your well-being. It makes you wonder about all the things we don't fully understand yet.
It really does. And I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners, too. How do you make sense of all the different ways our physical experiences can be understood? Robert Bruce offers a really fascinating, even if unconventional, perspective on the intricate relationship between our inner lives, our physical bodies, and maybe even influences beyond what we can normally perceive. It's worth exploring further if it sparks your curiosity about energy and well-being.
Absolutely. And if this deep dive has piqued your interest, be sure to check out the show notes for links to Robert Bruce's work and those articles we mentioned. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.